Merry Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. We have football, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and let me pull up the most recent injury updates that we have, just so I know what we're talking about here as we go through and answer these questions. But if you made it out this early, thank you so much. Of course, you know I appreciate you. Hope that you were able to go out there and crush it this week. And hopefully I do not give you bad advice on this live stream. That's the primary objective. First thing, Ryan Tannehill going to be the starting quarterback for the Titans. That was as expected. Don't think that's too much of a change. Christian Watson inactive. That's as expected. Don't think that's too much of a change. Alexander Mattison is active for week 16. Are you starting Alexander Mattison? Hell no. I have no idea what the workload is going to look like for him. But if Alexander Mattison is active, am I running to go out there and play Ty Chandler? Probably not. Chandler may still very well be the guy, but if they have another back in that backfield that's a bad offense, Ty Chandler's not a super talented running back. So yeah, I don't know how excited I would be to start Ty Chandler. Jaden Reed will not be playing. So no, a lot of people are going to go to Wicks. I don't know. I'm not excited about anybody in Green Bay. A.J. Dillon's going to play. Now, Aaron Jones has a great matchup, but he failed with no A.J. Dillon last week, so I'm not excited about him with A.J. Dillon this week. Nico Collins will play with no limitations, so you can't play Nico Collins if you would like. However, you have no C.J. Stroud, so I don't know if I'm super excited about it. Deonta Foreman, not expected to play week 16. So Roschon is actually a viable play here, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get Roschon Johnson in, not going to fault you at all. Cole Kmet will play. Cole Kmet, good matchup. And then CJ Stroud will most likely return 17. Dolphins are optimistic Tyreek Hill will play this week. Now, y'all know I've been talking about my Best Ball Mania team where we have Tyreek, we have Taylor. Thought it was a unique combo. Super excited about it. Well, after the George Pickens blow up, I don't know if we have any shot to win anyway. So even if Tyreek misses, it's not like we are going to win the $3 million regardless. But let's go ahead and let's dive into these questions. First one coming out from Brazy says, PBR, we need a running back and two flexes between Taylor, Etienne, DJ Moore, Rice, and Ayuk. I'm going to be going with Taylor, Etienne, and then for other flex, I think we are going to go ahead and play DJ Moore if you want the floor. Rashee Rice if you want the ceiling. Ayuk does have a tough matchup. Now, Turd McGurd says, one super flex spot, Howell, Wilson, or Amari. I'm actually going to go with a Russ given how bad the matchup is for Sam Howell. View Blue says, lost Pittman, so we need one in a full PPR. Parker, Judy, Wicks, Michael Wilson, Alec Pierce. In this range, this is where you can go out there and start Wicks. Don't start Wicks over someone like Godwin, but you can play Wicks over Devontae Parker. Now, Archer says, hey, Mason, Godwin or Chandler for the flex? Thanks. Thank you. If you would have asked me with no Alexander Mattison, I would have said Chandler. Now that Madison's playing, I'm going to go Godwin. Lone Lion says, Nico, Jason, Chandler, Downs for the flex. Thanks, man. Thank you. I think here I'm probably going to go ahead and take Nico Collins, even with no CJ Stroud. Now, Paulie says, HN or Walker in the Super Bowl this week. Good luck, my friend. I think you have a higher ceiling with Devon HN, a higher floor with Kenneth Walker. So it really does come down to what you need. I probably would roll the dice with HN. I feel more comfortable playing him this week than I did last week. Ryan says, full BBR, Nico or London, 70% win chance. So London, I'm just going to go ahead. I'll take Nico Collins. Both players have low floors. I think, it's just so hard to trust anybody in Atlanta. It's very fair if you wanted to go with Drake London. I'm just a little excited with them telling us that Nico Collins has no limitations at all. Now, Kim McKellar says, yo, Pollard, Bijan, Brees, pick two. We're going to be going with Pollard and Brees. I want to say Bijan over Brees, but we just can't. And then Odell, Pierce, Thielen, pick one. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Odell here with no Mark Andrews. Richard says, big week, need your help, Sutton or Addison. I'm going to go Sutton. My friend Addison only had 6 targets last week. I expect Jefferson to be the guy. Ryan says, Merry Christmas Eve, Mason. Merry Christmas Eve. We're starting Tyreek, Amon-Ra. We need 2 running backs, 2 flexes. Singletary, JT, Jacobs, Chandler, Zeke, Godwin, Jason, London. And then play Zeke if Jefferson is out. Okay. We are going to be going with JT, Zeke as our 2 running backs. We'll be going Jacobs and most likely Godwin for our second flex. Now that now that Madison's active and I don't want to play Chandler, you could also go Singletary. Really comes down to Singletary, Godwin. I don't know what you mean by play Zeke if JJ's out, though. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm missing something there. But play Zeke regardless. Zeke should crush. JW says, Tua or Baker, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. We will go Tua now that Tyreek Hill looks like he'll play. Ben says, full BBR 6-point passing touchdown. We have CMC as running back 1. Pick 1 for RB2 and a flex. Out of Bijan, Zeke, H.N. Ridley, and Devonta Smith. I think you can go Bijan and Zeke if you want the floor. If you want the ceiling, you can go Zeke and H.N. Don't play Ridley. Don't play Smith. You're playing 2 running backs here. I think H.N.'s the guy with the lowest floor. Bijan's I would say Zeke's maybe the guy with the lowest ceiling. So it kind of depends what you need, but please play 2 running backs. Daniel says, Geno, Flacco, Lawrence if good, and then Evans or Ridley. We'll go Evans. GL says, Flowers or Nico? I'm going to go Flowers. Connor, Gus, or Jacobs. Jacobs if good. If not, we will go James Conner. Don't play Gus. Now, Virtue Tag says, Happy BR, 2-2 and 1. CMC, Brees, Pollard, Pacheco. We're going to go CMC, Brees. Lamb, St. Brown, Waddle, Odell. We're going to go Lamb, St. Brown. We'll go Pollard in the flex spot. And then for the defense, we are going to be going with the Broncos, which is just crazy to say, but it's just a beautiful matchup against a tanking Patriots team. Now, Yakub says Addison or Ridley. If Lawrence is good, we will go with Ridley. Colton says London or Devonta Smith. Smith did miss practice early in the week. Looks like he will play tomorrow, though. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Devonta Smith over Drake London. Alex says, gotta have it full BBR. HN, Zeke, Singletary. HN has the highest ceiling. I think Zeke has the highest floor. I would play both running backs over Singletary with no Stroud, but I'm not going to fault you if you wanted to go one way or another there. Now, Slick Rick says, started Cook, need the highest ceiling now. Do we start Gibbs or Bijan? Merry Xmas? Merry Xmas, my friend. We will go with Gibbs. Killer Cam says, Lamar, Mahomes, and Tua or Kyler. I'm going to be going with Mahomes over Lamar. Tua, Kyler, 6-point passing touchdown format. Give me Tua, 4-point passing touchdown format. It's a little bit closer. I'd probably still go Tua, though. Now, J Game says a full BBR, Godwin or Laporta. I'm going to go Laporta, as crazy as that sounds. You know, I never want to flex the tight end if we can avoid it. Now, let's go over, find our next question. Gilbert says, start 2, Singletary, Smith, and Jacobs. I'm going to be going with Jacobs and Smith. I know Singletary's crushing. I'm just not super excited with no Stroud in this offense. Stevan says, Sutton, London, Brandon Cooks, Noah Brown at the flex, and Diggs is dead to me at this point. I was thinking about it on the ride to the gym this morning. I think what I failed to realize with Stephon Diggs and why we continued to rank him too high and why I just continue to be wrong with them is I think the change at offensive coordinator really did change the play calling in this offense and how they are funneling targets out. And it's not so much just do everything to get the ball to Stephon Diggs anymore. See, I mean, it's obviously too late. I wish I would have recognized this 3 weeks ago. I wish I would have been smarter about it. But I think with the change at offense coordinator, it makes sense that Stephon Diggs no longer that elite level wide receiver 1, and instead is more so just a high-end wide receiver 2, maybe even a mid wide receiver 2. But we will go with a Sutton there at wide receiver. I don't think Noah Brown's someone we want to play with no Stroud and Nico playing. Now, Cal says 6-point passing touchdown. Goff or Baker? We're going to go Goff. I'm versus Mahomes, CMC, Higgins, so we need a big week. I'm starting Henry, Gibbs. Yeah, if you're needing a big week here, go with the double stack. Go Goff, Gibbs, Laporta, and see if we get that massive spike. Matt says, happy BBR, Wicks or Roshan. I'm going to go with Roshan with no Foreman. Dylan says, happy holidays, full BBR, pick 2. Hall, Taylor, and Bijan. I'm going to go Taylor and Hall. If you wanted to play Bijan over Hall, I'm not going to fault you. Just make sure you play Taylor. Shregan Feudo says, Chandler, Ford, Roshan, flex 1. Ooh. Hook 'em horns. I kind of want to just say Roshan Johnson. I am very biased. The correct answer is probably Jerome Ford. It would have been Ty Chandler if Alexander Madison was out. Second says full BBR pick 3. Odell, Cooks, Terry, Alec Pierce. We're going to be going with Terry in a tough matchup. Cooks and Odell. I mean, I am not super excited about Alec Pierce whatsoever. Doesn't matter what the injury is to Pittman. Righty says, pick 2, Pacheco, Saquon, Walker in a full PPR format. I'm going to be going with Saquon and Walker. Now, Shane says Achane or Zeke. I think Achane has the higher ceiling. Zeke has the higher floor. So it kind of does come down to what you need. The projections do have Ezekiel Elliott as the better guy, though. But I do think you have, I don't know, a higher ceiling with Achane just based off the offenses that they are in. Tanner says Henry, Achane, or Chandler. I'm going to go Achane. Already had James Cook play. Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas. And yeah, go Achane. Think he has the ceiling. Rob says PBR, stick with the McBride Kyler stack or start Geno, Baker, Tua, or Love. I think you could pivot from Kyler to Tua if you would want, but for sure not starting Jordan Love with no Reed or Watson. Now, Yoshi says double flex PBR, Collins, Thielen, Wan'Dale, Dobbs with the Packers injuries, or pick up Parker Washington, Kraft, or Devontae Parker. We're going to go with Nico Collins as well as Adam Thielen. If you really wanted to go Romeo Dobbs over Adam Thielen, however, I'm not going to fault you with both Jaden Reed and Christian Watson being out. Trust Lock says Chandler, JSN. I will go, oh my gosh, I'm going to go JSN. I don't want to tell anybody to play Ty Chandler, then Alexander Madison splits the backfield. With Madison being active, I don't know if you can play Ty Chandler because it's a bad offense. Ty Chandler's a bad running back. The only reason he was interesting is he was getting every single touch. We don't know if that's the case anymore. And then, or Singletary. Oh, if we can go Singletary over Chandler and Addison. And no, Addison or Singletary. We're going to go Singletary. And then Geno or Minshew. We will go with Geno Smith. Now, Eddie says Jacobs, Hubbard, or Chandler. We're going to go Jacobs. Worried about Jacobs will put me in a bad spot Monday if he's out. If you just needed the high floor, you can go Chuba Hubbard. I mean, we got the report earlier in the week saying Jacobs will play. Obviously, that's not a guarantee, though. Now, Ryan says, last question. Have BBR. Also, full BBR need 2 receivers. Chasing Keenan out. JSN, Noah Brown, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Wicks, Samuel Douglas. Oh, my gosh. Brutal, my friend. We're going to go with JSN and Wicks, and our backup will be Noah Brown. I know Curtis Samuel came through strong last week. I'm just not super excited about it going up against the Jets this week. Now, Terry says, PBR, pick 1. Samuel, Noah Brown, Wicks, Brandon Cooks, and Douglas. Not Douglas. I refuse to play Douglas. I honestly maybe go Wicks. You have no Watson, no Reed. You have a tough matchup for Samuel. You have Nico Collins coming back for Noah Brown and no CJ Stroud. There are a lot of moving variables. Wyatt says, pick a defense, Dolphins, Ravens, or Bears. We're going to go with the Bears, crazy as that sounds. Not excited to play a defense against Dallas or San Fran. I'm just there, says PBR, pick 1. Wicks, Samuel, Myers, Parker. We're going to go Myers. Pick 2, HN, Saquon, Zeke. We're going to be going with Zeke, Saquon for the floor. You can mix in HN for the ceiling, but honestly, I don't think you have to. And then also pick Debo, Rice. Merry Christmas, dude. Merry Christmas, my friend. We will go with the Rice over Debo just based off the bad matchup for Debo this week. Chris says JSN, Noah Brown, or Wiggs. Full BBR, Merry Xmas. Merry Xmas, we will go JSN. Squad Minus says bench Olave for Pittman, JSN, or Noah Brown now. I think we will go ahead and we will take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jaggy says wait for Flowers on Monday or play Addison. I am assuming Flowers will be good to go. And Flowers is the expanded target share with no Mark Andrews. So I would play Flowers, but I'm not going to follow you at all if you wanted to play Addison coming off a strong week. Sir Barkley says Mason, Merry Christmas. Dobbs, Wiggs, Pierce, Odell, Cooks, Samuel. Someone has to start at wide receiver, guys. Let me know in the live chat. Am I crazy? I would rather have Dobbs than Wicks. I'd probably go Romeo Dobbs. I know most people are excited about Wicks, though. He's been better as of recently, but I kind of think it maybe is a little bit recency bias here. Now, AI Fredo says start Jacobs or bench him for Amari or Ridley. I'm going to go with Jacobs. Now, Corky says PBR for the flex, HN, Zeke, McBride. We're going to go with Zeke. And then Cleveland or Denver's DST. I'm going to go with Denver's. Jacob says, happy Christmas Eve, Mason. Hope you are enjoying it with family and fantasy. Yes, sir. Since I started Kamara, who should be my second running back between Bijan or HN? And should we keep Rice at the flex? Full BBR, thanks. Thank you. Yes, keep Rice at the flex. I think both backs have a lower floor when you're chasing the ceiling here. However, if you already started Alvin Kamara, so if we're just chasing the ceiling, even if it is going to give us a low floor, I probably do go ahead. I probably roll the dice with Devon HN. Now, Chris says Geno or Lamar. Go Lamar Jackson despite the matchup. K-Deem says a full BBR, start 1. Flowers, Roschon, Noah Brown. I'm going to go with Flowers. It's an interesting spot now that you have no Deonta Foreman and Roschon looks like he may be viable. Now, Saints has started Kamara and Kincaid in the playoffs. Would he consider starting Javonte over Derrick Henry or Devontae Adams given the matchup? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. I'm going to go Devontae Adams if we're chasing the ceiling. I think Adams has the touchdown upside and the big play potential. Go Adams there. Jarvis says full BBR, Waddle, Achane, or Bijan in the flex. I think we're going to be going with Achane if you're just chasing ceiling. I think Bijan maybe has a little bit of a better range of outcomes. Ryan says, sorry, Mason, meant play Zeke if Jacobs is out. Okay, so yes. If you're looking at Zeke versus Jacobs, you can go ahead and just play Ezekiel and play it safe. If you wanted to play it safe, I'm not going to fault it. Anthony says, full BBR double flex spots, Komet, Downs, or Noah Brown. I'm going to be going with Downs and Noah Brown. Komet, a little bit banged up. Don't want to flex the tight end. Justin says, pick 2, Walker, Sutton, Zay, Nico, JSN. We're going to go with Kenneth Walker and Cortland Sutton. If you wanted to go Nico over Sutton or Flowers over Sutton, I wouldn't fault you at all. It's a little bit of tougher matchup for Flowers. Now, Styles says pick 1, Chandler, Sutton, or Likely. If Alexander Madison were inactive, I would have gone Ty Chandler. With Alexander Madison active, not going to roll the dice. I'm going to go Sutton. Iron says start 1, Wicks, Parker Washington, Noah Brown, Alec Pierce. I think we can go Wicks here with the injuries in Green Bay. Ronald says Merry Christmas, Singletary or Chandler. I'm going to go Singletary now that Madison's good to go. Aaron says Rondale, Foreman, Parker Washington. Foreman is out, my friend. So we are going to go ahead and we will take Parker Washington over CH even with Pacheco playing. Morgan says Merry Christmas, full BBR, pick 2 flex between Hubbard, Hogginson, Swift, Godwin, Hubbard. Unfortunately started James Cook. 34% chance to win. So we need the ceiling here. And if we need the ceiling, we're probably going to go ahead and take McBride and Swift or Hawkinson and Swift. I definitely think we want to get Swift in, and then I think it will be your call between the 2 tight ends. I don't want to flex a tight end, but in that range, you may just have to. Matt says PBR tight end premium, Waller or Nico Collins. I'm going to go with Nico Collins even with that scoring. Achille the Great says, need 2 flex spots. Ty, Zeke, Ridley. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. We're going to go Zeke, Ridley. I'm not super excited about Ty. I understand that he may still be the guy, even with Madison active. I just don't know. I mean, he's not a good player, not a good offense. Really, the only way he is viable is if he has absolutely everything. Now, Tommy says, full BBR for our 3 receivers. We pick in Godwin or London. We're going to go Godwin over London. And in the flex, choosing between Edwards, Njoku, or Dillon. We will go with a London over those guys. So Godwin and London for a wide receiver 3 and a flex. Merry Christmas, my friend. Always happy to see you. And yeah, I mean, just not excited at all to play Edwards, even with the Keaton Mitchell injury, just because how bad the matchup is. Dylan says Seattle or Houston's defense. I mostly wanted to say Merry Christmas to the guy that helped us get here. Fingers crossed for Tyreek today. Fingers crossed, my friend. And thank you so much for stopping by. I think I'm going to go ahead and most likely just take the Seahawks defense. You're going up against Tannehill. Last time we saw Tannehill play, he did not look like a real starting quarterback. Actually, no. I mean, you're going up against Flacco. A fine play. I think both project out similarly. I'm not going to fault you one way or another, to be honest. Okay, let me find where we were. And as I do this, please, if you have not done so already, ladies and gentlemen, go down there, drop a like on this live stream. It looks like less than 50% of y'all have hit that like button. Fix your life if you have not done so. Go down there and hit that like. Okay, let me move this over. We are actually going to have to pull this up on another screen for just 1 second. So maybe I should have saved the begging for like stalling bit. Just for a little, because we need to stall for some more time. All right. Our next question coming out from, I believe, Chester says, need your advice standard. Start 2, Gibbs, Pollard, Mostert, Hall, Goff, Mullins, or Lawrence. We're going to go Lawrence over Mullins. I'm sorry, we're going to go Goff over both. We're going to be going with Hall and Gibbs at running back. Between Smith, Godwin, JSN, we'll go Smith. Thanks for the help. No, thank you, my friend. Alexander says Jacobs or Wicks at the flex. Go Josh Jacobs. Trigger says full BBR running back 2 in a flex. Ayuk, Brees, Bijan. I'm going to be going with Brees and Ayuk. Gage says love Minshew or Gino. We're going to go Gino. Cali Kid says full BBR need a flex. Lockett, Wicks, Chandler. Go Lockett. Sam says full BBR Dobbs, Spears. We're going to go Dobbs. Chandler, Spears. We're going to go Chandler. Sir Barkley says Kittle or McBride. We're going to go McBride. Relaxing Vibes says pick 2 Happy BR. Zeke, Montgomery, Taylor, Kenneth Walker. We're going to go with Taylor and Zeke. Killer Cal Style says need a wide receiver 2. JSN, Wicks, Hopkins, or Downs. We're going to go Hopkins. Start 3 running backs. White, Hall, Gibbs, Zeke, Chandler, Singletary. We're going to be going with Gibbs, White, and Hall. Gibbs, White, and Hall. Tobin says, sub brother, London or JSN PBR, and any props you like. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to pull them up here. We are working with a crappy little setup. I did take Ezekiel Elliott to have fewer than 99.5 total yards the other day. But yeah, on the laptop here, I'm not going to be able to pull up the pick'ems. But we will go with London over JSN at this point, my friend. I know that JSN had a great week last week. I just want to see it again. Now, iShine says, happy holidays, flock. Need some upside on my 10-team full BBR double flex. Pick 1, Nico, Kittle, Sutton, Downs, or Likely. Kamara killed me, but my opponent started Diggs and James Cook. Okay, hell yes, happy to hear that. But thank you so much, my friend. I hope that you had a great year. I hope you have great holidays. I think we are going to go through and play Nico Collins if we are chasing the ceiling. We know he has the big play potential. I'm not that excited about it with no CJ Stroud, however. Now, Jason says, Merry Days, pick 2. Mostert, Barkley, Pollard, Zeke. I'm going to be going with Pollard and Zeke. Pick 2, Moore, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown and Mike Evans. DJ Moore does have a great matchup, though. Now we can pull this back over. I apologize for that. Shregan Fiona says Eagles or Green Bay defense. I think the Eagles have the best defense in the league this week. We're going to go with the Eagles. Jack says full BBR, Hopkins, Zay, Godwin, or Addison. I'm going to be going with probably Hopkins. It's close. I mean, all these wide receivers project out within half a point from each other. I think you can go Hopkins, though. Cameron says Goff or Fields. Fields by a mile. And Roshan or London. I actually kind of want to go Roshan with no Foreman. Aiden says, do we flex Walker, Garrett Wilson? If it's a full PBR format, Wilson. Non-PBR, Walker. McLean says Pittman out. Downs, Wicks, or Roshan. Probably want to go through and play, I don't know. I may just want to take Roshan here. It's so damn tough. I played the 5th. I don't know. I do not know, my friend. SS says full BBR Browns over Eagles defense. No, please play the Eagles DST. Chris says full BBR need 1 for the flex. Wilson, Waddle, Jacobs, Walker, Collins, Sexpro. Thank you. We're going to go Garrett Wilson. Best matchups he's had all year. Timeout Sports says Merry Christmas Eve, Mason. Do I keep Connor in the flex or start Roshan with no Foreman and a bad Arizona run defense? Not BBR. Thanks and enjoy your holiday. No, happy holidays, my friend. Thank you so much. We are going to go ahead and we will play James Conner over Roshan Johnson, even without Foreman. Dan says Rashee Rice or Achane at the second flex. We're going to go with Rice. We have JT, ETN, Tyree, A.J. Brown, Ferguson, James Cook in the starting lineup. Yeah, please go Rice. Now, Al Frazier says pick 1, Thielen, JSN, or Downs. Probably JSN. Also, for another league, pick 1, Ty, Ridley, or Hopkins. Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas. We are going to go with Calvin Ridley. Elma says, happy BR start 3, Javonte Jacobs, Swift, Roshan. Go with Javonte Jacobs, Swift. Andrew says 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Walker, Hockenson, McBride, Barkley. We're going to be going Barkley at running back. We're going to go Hockenson at tight ends. And then if we're chasing the ceiling, we're going to go with Walker in the flex if we got burned by Mixon. Vincent says, hey, brother, happy holidays to you and yours. Happy holidays, my man. Happy to hear that you're still out here with us. Thielen, Edwards, Devontae Parker in a full BBR format. Full BBR, we're going to go Thielen, Edwards, very tough matchup. Have a nice cushion with Higgins. Oh, okay, good. Let's go, my man. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's just take Adam Thielen in that full PBR. Christopher says, full BBR, Chandler or Saquon. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We are going to go Saquon. Not excited about Chandler. Triple On says flex Chuba or Swift, non-PBR. We're going to go Swift. And flex Wilson, Walker, Chuba in a full BBR format. Full BBR format, we're going to go Wilson. Dylan says, meant to ask Mahomes or Dak. Thanks again. Thank you, my friend. I understand that Mahomes has been disappointing. If you look at how we rank these quarterbacks this week, I put Mahomes at 3, I put Dak at 6. You have an applied team total about 26.5 points for the Chiefs, 24 points for the Cowboys. So we're going to go Mahomes. Darian says, Happy BR pick 2, Henry, Barkley, Etienne, Swift, Pacheco. We're going to be going with Etienne and your call between Barkley, Swift, Pacheco. Just make sure you bench Henry, probably Etienne and Barkley. Now, Fruit Punch says, Happy BR, Jacobs, Chandler, or Barkley need the ceiling. If we need the ceiling, we're going to go with Saquon Barkley. Omar says, Happy BR, Etienne or Aaron Jones. We're going to go Etienne. We have Moser and Waddle. Yeah, go all in on that Dolphins offense. Fluffy says, need a wide receiver, tight end, and a flex. Between Addison, Wicks, Downs, McBride, and Njoku. We're going to go McBride at tight ends. We're going to be going Addison, wide receiver, and we're going to go Njoku for the flex. Kevin says, PBR, 1 running back, 1 flex. ETN, JT, Saquon, Devonta Smith. Go JT and ETN. YouTube, Dat Boy says, 6-point touchdowns. Completion and completion, 0.2 minus 0.2. 40-yard play. So passing volume helps us out a ton here. I think that we will go ahead and we'll play it safe. We'll go Jared Goff, right? The hot hand from last week. Obviously, this looks to be one of the best offenses in the league. Now, Rob says 6-team PPR. Start 2 running backs. JT, Saquon, Aaron Jones, Zeke, and Gibbs. We're going to go with JT and Jahmyr Gibbs, full PPR. McBride or Laporta. We're going to go Laporta, but it's close. And don't worry about having too many Lions. Look at what happened last week, my friend. Brent says, Montgomery or Chandler when I'm starting Goff. Happy BR. Also, Godwin or Hopkins. We're going to be going Montgomery over Chandler, Godwin, Hopkins. Really, it is up to you. You can go either way. I'd probably go Godwin, but I can go back and forth on that. Just make sure you play Montgomery. Chris says, need a quarterback. Russ, Gino, or Love. We're going to go Gino. Thank you, my friend. Brandon says, Mullins or Love. Probably Love. Obviously, Love's in a tough spot with his wide receivers out. Mark James says, I'm down, need a ceiling. Aaron Jones or Chandler. Thanks, Hoss. Thank you. I'm going to go Aaron Jones if we need the ceiling. Not super excited about Chandler with with Alexander Madison actually playing. Johnny says, start Purdy or Lamar. I'm going to go Lamar in a 4-point passing touchdown format. I think you can go with Purdy in a 6-point. Actually, no, they're like 5-point favorites there. It's close. 6-point passing touchdown format for sure. Go Purdy. 4-point passing touchdown format up to you. Now, Arthur says, good morning. Madison is active and I don't trust Nico Hurt. Choose 2 between likely Chandler, Addison, and Collins. I'm going to be going Collins and Addison, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I am not really trusting Nico either, but I don't know. Chris says, Wicks or Parker Washington. I'm going to go Wicks with everybody out in Green Bay. Bill says, Chandler over likely despite the matchup with Madison active. I would go Chandler over likely, but I'm benching Ty Chandler in most spots. I know the overall defense is great with the Lions, but they're still good against the run. Myers is still an option for me as well. I mean, you can go Myers over Chandler. It really just is hard to project exactly what role we're going to have with Madison being good to go. Seth that says, Flowers or JSN? Probably Flowers. Hubbard or Zeke? Definitely Zeke. Now, the Ego official says, full BBR, Hopkins or Downs? Hopkins. Likely or Waller? I'm going to go likely. WB says, Mary exclamation, is Tyreek playing? From the reports that are out right now, Tyreek Hill is most likely going to be playing for the Dolphins. We have Connor to cover Hill and no one else. So we put Hill into flex, put in Amari. I wanted to play Hill and Walker. So I think if you wanted to play Walker over Amari, just go Hill and Walker. It's a tough spot, of course, but the assumption at the moment is Tyreek Hill is playing. And I would submit my starting lineup is that that's the case. Howard says, start 1, Happy BR. Nico, Ridley, Wilson, or Flowers. We're going to go Wilson. Callie Kid says, full BBR, need 1 running back. Swift, Montgomery. We're going to go Montgomery. 1 receiver, Noah Brown, Lockett, Wicks. I'm going to go Lockett. Now, Kookie says, we have White at running back, Zeke, Singletary, Chandler at RB2. Go Zeke at RB2. And then the flex / wide receiver 2, we have Godwin, Wilson, Amari, Dotson. Go with Wilson at wide receiver 2. And then for the flex between Singletary, Godwin, Amari, if it's a full BBR format, I think you go Amari. Non-BBR, go Singletary. Now, Dax says, full BBR flex, Zeke, Swift, Sutton, or Collins. Go Zeke, my friend. Now, Aaron says, Roshan, Ramondre, Downs, HN, Myers, Wicks. We got to pick one. We're going to be going with HN. Ramondre's not playing. WTF Hug says, sorry, Mason didn't listen to you and started Davis. You started Gabe Davis last week? I'm sorry, yesterday? That is phenomenal, my friend. We have Pacheco, White, Jefferson, Kelsey. Do we sit one for Zeke? Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Wild call to start Gabe Davis over Zeke. Clearly it worked out for you, so I'm happy for you, my man. I mean, if you wanted to play Zeke over Pacheco, I'm not going to fault you for that, but we are sitting with a pretty lead there. Now, C40 Blaze says full BBR, Amari Jacobs or Devonta Smith. Probably Josh Jacobs. Taj says pick a running back, receiver, and a flex. Wilson, Adams, Bijan, Barkley. Our running back, we're going to be going with Bijan. Our wide receiver, we're going to go with Wilson. Or flex, we're going to go Barkley. Alfredo says Amari or Ridley. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. We will go with Amari. Parker says Tyreek News. Sounds like he's playing from what I'm reading. Not official, though. Also, full BBR, Ridley or Swift. We're going to be going Swift. Amar says James Conner or Chandler. We're going to go James Conner. Dylan says flex 1, likely Michael Wilson, Roshan, Wicks, Brown. I think we can go Roshan, but it's very close. Matt says pick 1 tight end premium. Wicks, Waller, Nico Collins. I'm going to go with Nico. Braden says need your help, Mason. Happy BR pick 2 wide receivers and a flex out of Smith, Collins, Javonte, Odell, Jason, Myers. Also, Waller, Schultz at tight end. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I'm going to go Waller now that Nico Collins is good to go. And then our 2 receivers are going to be going with Smith and Collins. And then our flex, we are to go Javonte. Now, Austin says we have CMC Mostert. We flex HN or Singletary. I'm going to go HN. Now, Clubber Lang says pick 2 PBR, Montgomery, Chandler, Wicks. I'm going to go Montgomery and Wicks in a full BBR format. If you want to go Chandler over Wicks, not going to fall. You just please play Montgomery. Jacob says full BBR. Should we start Hubbard or Connor? I'm going to go Connor. Slick Rick says Ford or Gibson starting. We're going to go Jerome Ford. Dan says Rashee Rice or HN. We're going to go Rice in a full PBR. Got JT, ETN, Tyreek, AJ. Okay, yeah, so we're going to leave that as is. Rocker and L says Waller or Spears for the flex. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. Probably Spears, but it's close. Matthew says flex pick Spears, Roshan, Reed, or Jordan Addison. Reed is out. I think we will go with Addison. Ollie says Chandler, Ridley, or Palmer. I'm going to go with Ridley. Palmer already played, my friend. Brett says flex 1 at PBR, Sutton, London, or Wicks. We are going to go through and play Sutton. Now, Sabarison says Parker or Wicks with no Reed and no Watson. I think we are going to go with Wicks over Parker. Now, Austin says Waddle or Ridley. Give me Waddle even with Tyreek playing. Kevin says Merry Christmas, Mason. 2 running backs and a flex, full BBR. Etienne, Pollard, Chandler, Connor, Goddard. I'm stuck between Etienne because Etienne's been bad in the second half. Completely understand where you're coming from. If we're going to look at this, though, I think we probably want to play 3 running backs. We're going to go Etienne, Pollard, as well as James Conner. But Chandler's going to be a bench now that Madison's active. Now, Rakesh says, happy BR, Connor, Amari, McBride, Hawkinson. We got to pick 2. We're going to be going with, oh my gosh. We may actually play both tight ends. I think we can play both McBride and Hawkinson there. Swish says Khalil Herbert or Gus Edwards. You have no Deonta Foreman, so completely understand if you wanted to go through and play Khalil Herbert, but I don't know. I think Roshan's going to be also split in that backfield as well, so I don't know if we're super excited about that. I think you go with Gus Edwards, which is the guaranteed role, to be honest. Now let's swing this back around. We got to start speeding up here. Okay, so now our next question coming out from, I believe, Johnny says 10-team full BBR, Tua or Kyler. We're going to go Tua. Eagles or Jets defense. We're going to be going Eagles. I can't help you with the kicker, my friend. And then here with our wide receivers, we're to be going with Moore, Ridley. For other running back after playing James Cook, we will go Tony Pollard. And then for our flex, we're going to go Kenneth Walker. Now, Lockford says Pollard or Wilson, full BBR. We're going to go Pollard. Ollie says Chandler or Jacobs. We're going to go Jacobs. And then Browns or Chiefs defense. We're going to go with the Chiefs. Peyton says Hubbard or Javonte. Rock Mason, appreciate you, my friend. We will go with Javonte. I know most people would disagree. Cali Kid says full BBR. Need 1 receiver. We have the Green Bay guys. Noah Brown, Lockett. I'm going to go Lockett. Web 3 yards says start 3. Saquon, Brees, Walker, HN. I'm going to be going with Saquon, Brees, and HN. Philmus Payne says Ayuk, Amari, HN, Addison. We need to pick 3. We're going to go Ayuk, Amari, and HN. Richard says need upside. Lamar, Dak. We're going to go Lamar if you need upside. And they need 1 flex and 2 running backs between McBride, Pollard, HN, Smith, Chandler, Bijan. We're going to be going with 3 running backs. We're going to go Pollard, HN, Bijan if we are shooting for upside. Brandon says Hall, Pollard, Roshan, Chandler. We got to start 2. We're going to go with Hall and Pollard. Happy says full BBR, McBride or Laporta. We're going to go Laporta and flex either over Devonta Smith. If you wanted to play McBride over Smith, not going to fault you at all for it. Ray says full BBR, start McBride or Pollard or Aaron Jones. I'm down by 20. Go with Pollard. Ali says Browns or Denver defense. I'm going to go with Denver. Uncle Drew says nervous to start Jacobs. Would you consider Njoku? No, please play Jacobs. Sam says 4-point passing touchdown. Dak with a banged up O-line or Baker. We're going to go Dak. Also, PBR starting McBride at tight end. Need 2 for the flex. Hawkinson, Nico, Aaron Jones, Montgomery, or Addison. We're going to be going with Hawkinson and Montgomery. Thinking of Jones and Ock with... I don't know if I'm super excited to go through and play Jones, to be honest with you. I know Jones is a good matchup. I know there are no receivers. The man's been bad all year. Blake says, Merry Christmas and wishing you a great holiday with the fam. Start Baker or Lawrence. We're going to go with Baker. And then start Zeke or Zay. We're going to go Zeke. Anthony says, full BBR double flex. Noah Brown, Downs, Myers, Thielen. We're going to go with Myers and probably Thielen. Phil says, start 2, full BBR, Gibbs, JT, Hall, Walker, Aaron Jones. We're going to go with JT and Gibbs, full PPR. Robert says, is Tyreek in Njoku or McBride, Henry or Bijan, Mullins, Kyler or Gino? Go Kyler, go Bijan, go McBride. And then it looks like Tyreek is most likely going to be playing, my friend. Looks like Tyreek will most likely be playing. Now, William says, Downs or Odell, full point PBR. We're going to go with Downs with no Pittman. Justin says Walker Wilson in the flex, full BBR. Love you, my man. We will go Wilson, full BBR. Kyle says Parker Washington or Alec Pierce. We're going to go Washington. O'Brien says have BBR likely or Wicks. We're going to go Wicks. And Bijan or JT. We're going to go JT. Raphael says full BBR starting Zeke at running back, Laporte at the flex, Trey at tight end. Should we keep him in or start someone else? We have Jacobs, Nico, Montgomery, Amari on the bench. I think we're going to go through and we will keep them in. If you wanted to play Jacobs in the flex spot, you can though. Antonio says one quarterback, full BBR, Flacco or Kyler. We're going to go Kyler. Callie Kit says need one flex, full BBR, Flowers, Ayuk or Amari. We're going to go Ayuk. Reed Davis says start 3, full BBR, Taylor, Achane, Pollard, Walker. We're going to go with Taylor, Achane, and Pollard. Raisin says Merry Christmas, need to start 2, PBR, Zeke, Taylor, Kenneth, Walker. For receiver, Lockett or Sutton. We're going to be going with Sutton at receiver. We're going to go with Taylor and Zeke at running back. Eyeshine says Gino or Kyler at quarterback. We're going to go with Kyler. Mason says Fields with the fog or Dak. We're going to go Fields in a 4-point passing touchdown, Dak in a 6. Uncle Drew says pick 4, London, Lockett, Sutton, Noah Brown, and Njoku, and Likely. We have to bench 2 guys. We're going to be benching Noah Brown and Isaiah Likely. Bruce Lewis says happy holidays. Thanks for getting us into the playoffs. Pick a running back between White, Justice Hill, Trey Sermon. Oh my gosh, my friend. Not Trey Sermon now that JT is good to go. I think you go with Justice Hill is such a bad matchup. I think Hill has the higher floor. I think Zamir White maybe has the highest ceiling if there's still a chance that Jacobs misses. Probably go Justice Hill there, though. Probably Hill. Number 1 Stunner says full BBR, Taylor Pollard, go Taylor. And the Kelsey and McBride, go Kelsey. Alexis says Nico or Devonta Smith. We're going to go Smith. Oh, yeah, especially if we're chasing ceiling, go Smith. Now, Kajana says Pollard or Taylor. Please go Taylor. Goody says pick 2, full BBR. Zeke, Chuba, Singletary, Roshan. We're going to go with Zeke and Chuba. No, Zeke and Singletary. Isaiah says need 3. Brees, Saquon, JT, Zeke. We're going to be going JT, Saquon, and Brees. Adam says Merry Xmas from Thailand. Merry Xmas, my friend. Last minute till Likely or Singletary. Go Singletary. Don't overthink it. I know it's a tough matchup. I know you have no Stroud. Shane says Merry Christmas, Mason. Full BBR. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. Walker, Jacobs, White, Bijan. We're going to be going with White, Bijan, Jacobs for our 2 running backs and the flex. And our 2 receivers will be going with Waddle and Ridley. Nathaniel says PBR for the flex. Singletary, Komet, JSN. We're going to go Singletary. And then the Browns or Colts, DSC. We're going to go Browns. Raul says Merry Xmas despite a desperate at quarterback. Love Baker or Gino. I'm going to go with Baker. Belly says Pittman out. Flex Jones, Pacheco, or Noah Brown. We're going to go Pacheco. Bryce says Elliott or Walker. We're going to go with Zeke, my friend. Go Zeke. Corey says Philly or Denver's defense. Go Philly, Walker, or Singletary. We're going to go Walker. Brian says full BBR, Lockett, Nico, Javonte for the flex. I'm going to go Javonte. It's close though. El Fulano says Robinson, Pollard, Chandler, Connor, and Spears. Full BBR drop to Merry Christmas And Happy New Year, you filthy animals. Happy New Year, my friend. We have to drop 2 guys. We're going to be dropping Chandler and Spears. Brandon says Amari or Devonta Smith. We're going to go with Amari with Smith being banged up. Rick says Walker, Nico, Addison, Thielen. I'm going to go with Walker. Crazy Eyed says, so are choosing to bench 1. Mostert, Achane, Pollard, Montgomery, Ridley in a double flex league. We will bench Ridley there, my friend. Mike says, have a Merry Christmas, Flowers or JSN. I'm going to go Flowers despite the tough matchup. Ryan says, full BBR, what are your thoughts for Wicks over Downs? Also, does it change your answer if it's a half BBR between Singletary, Chandler, Godwin, and what are your thoughts overall? Thanks. Thank you. I'm just a little more confident with the passing volume that we should see over in Green Bay. There's that outside chance that with JT being good to go and with no Michael Pittman in Indy, that you do just have the Colts running the ball over and over and over again. And if you think of the profile of Downs versus Michael Pittman, they really play 2 different positions. I know they're both listed as wide receivers, but they couldn't really be more different. And then if we're going to be looking at Singletary, Chandler, Godwin, I think if it's a half BBR format, you could go Singletary. Full BBR league, I want Godwin, but it's close. Just don't play Chandler there now that Madison's good. Now, John says, against Pickens, should we start Waller or Likely? We're going to go Waller for the ceiling if we played against Pickens. Shrek and Fionis is going to play Roshan over Ford. I think it's completely fine. I mean, both guys should be in a committee. Alexander says, Mary Xmas, Montgomery or Zeke? We're going to go with Zeke, PPR, Montgomery, non. Thielen or Dotson. I think we're going to go Thielen based off the matchups. Beast Mode says PBR started receiver to flex. Achane, Hopkins, Sutton, Smith. We're going to go with Achane and Smith. We have Brees in. Might bench for Achane. No, I think we'll leave Brees in there. Frank says sit 1. Henry, Taylor, Pollard, Jones, center league. We're going to bench Jones. Jonathan says non-BBR, Chandler, Roshan, or Devonta Smith for the flex. I'm going to go with Devonta Smith. David says Mary Xmas full PBR, 2 running backs and a flex. Pollard, Barkley, Jones, and Smith. We're going to go with Pollard, Barkley, and Smith, bench Jones. And happy to see you, my friend. Hope that you have a phenomenal Christmas. Now, Vin Sives, I apologize for being an idiot and not being able to read, but Chandler with Madison or Jacobs. We have Zamir White. I'm going to go with Jacobs. 420 Gale says struggling between Addison and Devonta Smith. I'm going to go Smith. B says flex Montgomery, Nico, or Barkley. I'm going to go with Montgomery. If it's a half PPR, you could go Barkley there as well. Soul Assassin says full BBR, JSN or Smith. We're going to go Smith. Also, Jets or Packers defense. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. We're going to go with the Packers. Castellero says non-BBR sit 1. Walker, Etienne, Achane, and Montgomery. Non-BBR format, probably actually want to bench Achane there. Now, Kent says, happy holidays, you machine. Happy BR, pick 2 RBs. Achane, Zeke, Brees, Chandler. We're going to go Zeke, Brees if you want the floor. We're going to be going with Zeke, Achane if you want the ceiling. Joel says, start DeMario, Wicks, Pierce, Merry Xmas Eve. Merry Xmas Eve, my friend. We are going to go with Wicks. Timothy says, Addison or Downs, full BBR format. I'm going to go Addison. Tyler says, Wicks or Wilson. Wilson by a mile. Jamal says, flex, full point PBR. Likely Pierce or Hunt. I'm going to be going with probably Pierce. Alexis says 1 flex, likely Collins or Smith. We're going to go Smith. Sir Barkley says we're screwed. We're going Wicks or Dobbs. I would go Dobbs. Most other people would go Wicks though. Smarter people than I am are saying Wicks. I kind of like that we have the track record with Dobbs. Steve says, happy BR with 2 flexes. Hawkins and McBride has started tight end. We go Hawk. Would you flex the non-starting tight end versus Singletary Montgomery? I would go with Montgomery there in the flex. Rick says, Hawkins or Laporta. I'm going to go Laporta. Aaron says, Wandale, Washington, Pierce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We got to pick 1. I'm going to be going with Alec Pierce. Joshua says, Goff for Lamar. Give me Lamar in a 4-point passing touchdown. Justin says, Dobbs, Wicks, or JSN in a full BBR. I'm going to go JSN. Michael says full BBR, pick 1. Ridley, Montgomery, Jacobs, Smith. No Zay Jones. I'm leaning towards Ridley. Jacobs still questionable and I'm in a tight spot. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. I think you can go ahead and actually probably go with David Montgomery if you were worried about Jacobs not being good to go. John says, happy BR. We get big play bonuses, Zeke or Hall. If you get big play bonuses, not going to follow you going with Hall. We know Zeke's not hitting those, but Zeke does have the guaranteed volume. Concealed OG says bench 2, Hopkins, Godwin, Ridley, Javonte, Pacheco, and Garrett Wilson. We're to be benching both Hopkins and Godwin. WB says 1 flex, full PBR, Walker, Montgomery, Amari. We're going to go with Montgomery. Ryan says tough situation PBR. Start 2 running backs, a tight end, and a flex. Brees, Etienne, Pollard, McBride, Hawkinson. Thanks, man. Thank you. We're going to be going with Hawkinson at tight end. We're going to be going with Brees, Etienne, Pollard as our 2 running backs and our flex. Virtual Spider says full BBR with no tight end. Start 2, Rice, Kelsey, and Waddle. I'm going to be going with Rice and Kelsey. Now, Matt says Nico or JSN. Go Nico. Also, Gibson or Roshan. I'm going to go Roshan. It's tough, though. I fell for Gibson last week. I thought Gibson would be great, and he clearly wasn't. Young Con says Addison or Nico Collins. I'm going to go Nico Collins. Vader says Hubbard, Laporta, McBride, Nico Collins. We got to bench one. We're going to be benching Nico. Miro says Merry Christmas base, Douglas, Wicks, Wandale, or Pierce. I think we're going to be going with Wicks out of that list. You can go Pierce if you want to as well. I mean, it's tough having nobody in Green Bay and having nobody in Indy. I can kind of go back and forth there. Charlie says Josh Downs or JSN. I'm going to go JSN. JC Death King says, should we start Jacobs or Chandler? I'm going to go Jacobs. We got the report early in the week saying Jacobs is going to play. Obviously, it's not a guarantee, but Ty Chandler could be very bad with Alexander Madison playing. It's a bad offense. He's a bad running back. Now he doesn't have every single touch. To the max, Sup Mason needed nailed down by starters, full BBR. Need 2 receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex spots. Between Amari, Nico, Wilson, McBride, Kelsey, Bijan, Montgomery, H.N. Brees. Thanks, Mason. Thank you. We're going to be going with our 2 receivers as Wilson and Amari. Our tight end, we're going to go Kelsey. And our 2 flexes, we're going to go Bijan, Brees, unless you wanted the ceiling play and you can pivot to H.N. Peace Among Worlds says, have BBR, Dak or Fields. We're going to go with Fields. And then pick 2, Zeke, Wilson, or Waddle. We're going to go Zeke and Wilson. Now, Omar says Singletary, Flowers, Standard League. Give me Singletary. Cali Kid says full BBR, need 1 RB, Swift or Montgomery. We're going to go with Montgomery. Next says PBR, start 1, Connor, Zeke, Singletary. We're going to go Zeke. Steve says, Merry Christmas. Which running back should we start in flex? Connor, Saquon, Mostert, Swift, Williams, Pacheco. We're going to start Mostert and Saquon. We're going to flex Swift. Logan says flex Ridley, Achane, or Downs. I'm going to go Achane, my friend. Now, Rick DeRuler says happy BR, pick 1. Wicks, Pierce, Josh Downs, or Roshan Johnson. Kind of want to go Roshan, but I am very biased when I say that. The correct answer very easily could be Wicks. Phil says, I need a flex full BBR, Hall, Walker, Aaron Jones. I'm going to go Hall. Options are, we're going to go with Hall there over the wide receiver options. Alex says full BBR, Ty or Josh Jacobs. Please go Josh Jacobs over Ty Chandler. Worst case scenario, you just pay. I mean, there are more games on Monday, so it's not like you're only going to have Zamir White to pivot to. Aviana says start 3, Gibbs, Hubbard, Jones, and Henry. I'm going to go Gibbs, Jones. I'm going to go Gibbs, Hubbard, and Henry. WTF Alex says up 72-47 at Allen Olave Davis play. Hell yes. Let's go, my man. I am happy to hear that, especially in the playoffs. Burner account says Merry Christmas, brother. Goff or Tua. Happy BR. I'm going to go Tua. Mystic Flame says 4-point touchdown. Kyler or Lawrence. Give me Kyler. Matt says flex 1. Happy BR. Jason Spears, Roshan. Probably Roshan if you want to go JSN. I'm not going to fault you. Frozen Grape says Montgomery or Ty Chandler. Montgomery by a mile. Calmridge says full BBR pick 2. Etienne, Zeke, Pacheco, Hubbard, and Nico Collins. Give me Etienne and Ezekiel Elliott, my friend. Cody Jones says PBR, Kyler or Lawrence. Give me Kyler. Start 2, Etienne, Gibbs, Pollard. Give me Etienne, Gibbs. James Cook, Diggs got us 13 combined. Pickens went nuts on the bench. Do not fault you. Don't fault yourself at all, my friend. I would have done the same thing there. Now, Yazoni says, Nico, Addison, London need a big game. I think we're going to go Nico. Jordan says, need 2, Hubbard, Walker, Pollard. I'm going to go Walker, Pollard. And then Nico or Amari at receiver. I'm going to go Amari. Alexis says, Bears or Chiefs defense. I'm going to go Chiefs defense. Jesus says, hey, Russ or Nick Mullins. I'm going to go Russ. And then flex Swift or Javonte. Give me Swift. Snyder says, pick 2 running backs in a flex. Zeke, Wicks, Javonte, London, Chandler. Give me Zeke, Javonte, and London, Wicks. Up to you. Nelson says, full BBR, need 2 receivers in a flex between Etienne, Wilson, Hill, Lockett, Singletary, Chandler. Merry Christmas, my friend. Give me Wilson, Hill, Singletary, and bench Lockett and Chandler. Michael says Walker, Saquon. Am I crazy for benching Saquon? Non-BBR format, I go Walker. Full BBR league, it's close and it's up to you. Wouldn't fault you for doing it. Anthony says JT or Rasheed Rice. Give me JT. Luke says start 2, Zeke, JT, or Gibbs. Give me JT and Gibbs in a full PPR. Dinky says pick 1, Cooks, Nico, Jacoby, or Lockett. Give me Nico. Christian says PBR pick 2, Zeke, Addison, Brees. Give me Zeke and Brees. And then Schultz or Waller. Give me Waller now that Nico's playing. Christopher says a full BBR, need 4 between Hill, Hall, Etienne, Pollard, Ridley. Merry Christmas, my friend. We're going to be going with Hill, Etienne, Pollard, and Hall. Bench Calvin Ridley there. Now, Chris says start 2, Waddle, Brown. I'm assuming that's A.J. Brown, right? Ooh, yeah. A.J. Brown, Adams, or Debo. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown and Debo Samuel. Nicholas says, happy BR chase out JSN or London. Very close. Up to you. Maybe JSN based off Geno being good to go. Lewis says full BBR Montgomery or Jacobs. And then we're going to go Montgomery. Jet says HN or Gibbs. A full BBR, give me Gibbs. Jay Rosso says Merry Christmas, Mason. Flowers is at an injury destination, so we play Downs, Pierce, or Thielen. I'm going to go Flowers. I think Flowers will be good to go. Alexa says, who should we bench for Hill? Connor or Edwards? Bench Gus Edwards. Inflea says, do you still like Gibbs, Evans, Debo, leaving Mostert out, or take Gibbs out? Kamara and Diggs had bad games, so really nervous leaving Mostert out. I mean, if you really wanted to go through and play Mostert over Gibbs, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, you're chasing the ceiling at this point. Super Swag Scoop says, full BBR pick 2, Hall, Hubbard, and Addison. Give me Hall and Hubbard. Chris says, Taylor, Jacobs, Hubbard, Zeke, Evans. A full BBR, need 2 running backs and a flex. We're going to go with Taylor, Zeke, and Evans, my friend. Rob says full BBR starter, running back in a flex to Montgomery, Lockett, Gus, and Wicks. Give me Montgomery and Lockett. Joshua says Goff or Lamar in a 6-point. We're going to be going with Goff in a 6-point passing touchdown. And then Zeke or Bijan. I think probably it's Zeke, to be honest with you. Mel Bailey says sit 1, Walker, Swift, Montgomery, and Nico or Chandler. I'm going to go Nico over Chandler. And then if I had to sit 1 between Walker, Swift, Montgomery, I'm going to sit Walker if it's a full PPR. JD says full BBR, Douglas, Tajee, Curtis Samuel, or Nico Collins. Give me Nico Collins. Tom says flex, HN, Taylor, or Zeke. Give me Taylor. Chris says need upside, full BBR, Montgomery, Chandler. Give me Montgomery. And Godwin or Sutton. Give me Sutton. And Merry Christmas, my friend. Solly Jenkins says Bijan, Waddle, Wilson in the flex, full PBR. I think we're going to go with Wilson if it's a full PBR format. You know I would go Bijan, but I'm very biased. Mona says PBR start 2, Amari, HN, James Conner, Godwin, and Myers. Give me Amari and HN. Chris says pick 2, full PBR, HN, Amari, Smith. Give me HN and Amari with Smith being banged up. My friend, Merry Christmas. Lowell says, happy BR, Bijan or JT. Give me JT. And Waller or Ferguson. Give me Ferguson. Chuck says, Jets or Broncos defense. I'm going to go with the Broncos defense. Jai says, Laporta or McBride. Give me Laporta. D. Larson says, asked in the past, but Brees over Bijan. I think if we're going to be as objective as possible about it, we probably do have to go Brees over Bijan. Cali Kid says, full BBR, need 1. Goff, Flacco, Mullins. Give me Goff. Peyton says, Addison or Wicks. Give me Addison. Dobbs or Flowers. Give me Flowers. And nope, please keep Kenneth Walker in the flex. And then Colts or Cowboys DST, you're more than welcome to go either direction there, my friend. And now Jovi says PBR single flex. Lamar, Kyron, Zeke, Hill, Ayuk, Rice, McBride. The bench is Bijan, Hawkinson, Amari, Jacobs playing against Allen, Gibbs, Singletary, Lamb, DK, Evans, Njoku, any subs. I mean, if we wanted to get someone in, it would be Bijan. I think I would potentially play Hawkinson over McBride. You can look at Bijan versus Zeke, but I'm not going to fault you at all if you wanted to go Zeke there. But no, I think you have a great team. I think you can keep that as is, my friend. Now, Alex says, start 2, Swift, HN, or Zeke. Give me HN and Zeke. Now, Arlen says, flex 1, Jason, Roshan, Curtis Samuel. Give me Roshan. Browns or Eagles defense. Give me the Eagles defense. Love the Eagles D this week. Teresa, happy to see you. Merry Christmas. I hope that you are able to enjoy it and spend time with the fam. Now, Nisha's full BBR flex 1, Flowers, Downs, or Roshan. Give me Flowers. Nick says Godwin or Garrett Wilson. Give me Wilson. Jesus says Chandler, Javonte, Swift. Give me Swift. Eric says Saquon or Hubbard. Give me Saquon. And then Eagles or Broncos defense. Give me the Eagles, not egos. Wavy says Flacco or Mullins. Ooh. Probably Flacco. It's close. Let me pull up the implied team totals here. Actually, no. Let's go Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins has all the weapons in the world. Let's go Mullins. And he has a good matchup. Lex says, full BBR, need a running back and a flex. We have Hall, ETN, Connor, Nico. Give me Hall and ETN. Logo says, please pick one for the flex. Happy BR. Pierce, Wicks, Mingo. Thanks, boss. Thank you. I'm going to go with Wicks with no Watson and no Reed. Tristan says, for the flex, Chandler, Downs, Herbert. Merry Christmas, my friend. I think if it's a full BBR format, we're going to go Downs. Non-PBR, and go Herbert. Skyward says, happy BR, one flex. Hurts, Kyron, JT, AJ Brown, Puka, Hawkins, and Bijan. We have Kyron, Puka versus Kamara. Play Bijan or Swift versus in the flex. And then chase Bijan ceiling or Swift's floor. I would probably go Bijan, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, you're in a very comfortable position right now. You are in the driver's seat, so I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to go with the floor. James, happy to see you, and hope that you have a great holiday break. Sam says, happy BR, need a flex, Wicks, Pierce, or Ferguson. I think we're going to go ahead. We are going to take Wicks. Now, Grayson says, Godwin or Singletary, full PBR. Give me Singletary. Andrew says, Bijan or Walker. Give me Bijan. Charizard, back in the day, my favorite Pokemon, coming out saying HN or Chandler in the flex. HN easily. JGL says full BBR for the flex. Walker, Chandler. I'm behind by 20 points. Go Walker. Not excited about Chandler now. Landon says Walker or Jacobs. You can play it safe. Go Walker with Jacobs not being cleared. Brayan says start two. Godwin, Odell, or Wicks. We're going to go Godwin and Wicks. Cruisin' Loaded says double flex, full BBR. Flowers, Smith, Njoku, Nico, and Connor. Give me Smith and Connor. Lord Vader says JSN, London, or Judy. Give me London. Definitely not Judy. Hayes ID says looking good in the St. Good luck this week. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you being with us for so damn long. Thank you for everything, my friend. Now, B. Shavi says, have BBR start two running backs in a flex. Zeke, Saquon, Roshan, Chandler, Hopkins. Give me Zeke, Saquon. And then for the flex spot, I think we're going to be going with Hopkins. Ryan says Parker Washington or Wicks. We're going to be going with Wicks. Yep, everybody out in Green Bay. Jose says bench one for Tyreek, Edwards, Ridley, or Connor. Bench Gus, Edwards. Horrible matchup for Edwards. Nick says Edwards or Gibson for the flex. We have Lamar at quarterback. Full BBR format, give me Antonio Gibson. I am not excited about Gus Edwards at all going up against the Niners, especially in a full BBR league where he has no receiving usage. Drew says Chiefs, Eagles, or Cowboys defense this week. Give me the Eagles defense. I think they're the best defense you can play this week. RKO says PBR, Addison, Myers, Godwin, or Noah Brown. Give me Godwin. Brandon says Russ or Kyler. Give me Kyler. Robert says we need a running back and a flex, full PBR. Walker, Zeke, Pacheco, Noah Brown, JSN. Give me Zeke as well as Pacheco. If you wanted to go Walker over Pacheco, not going to fault you. Just make sure you play Zeke. Walker, Pacheco, it's up to you. Bid Moon says likely Douglas or Rodriguez. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my friend. I think we are going to go Isaiah Likely and not feel good about it. But, I don't know. It's such a tough matchup, too. If you want to go Douglas there, it's fine. I just have never wanted to play Douglas all season in one of the worst offenses in the NFL. He's not a talented player. So, I don't know. I'm not excited. But it's here, ladies and gentlemen. Kickoff. I really hope you have a great Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. Hope you're able to spend time with friends and family. Hope you're able to win your fantasy football matchup. Thank you so much for everything. I will be live tonight recapping all the games, of course. And yeah, I do want to remind y'all two things. One, we are going to have a Flock Fantasy meetup on January 13th at Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. Obviously, it'll be free for everybody to just come hang out. Should be a lot of fun. We can talk football. We can hang out. We can do whatever the hell you want. It'll be January 13th, Austin, Texas, Zilker Park. And two, it's going to be about the last time I'm uploading here on this channel, at least for this season. We are going to transition over to the Dynasty channel. We're going to be putting Dynasty videos every single day through the course of the offseason. So if you wanted our content in the offseason, it's not going to be here. It'll be on the Dynasty Football Flock YouTube channel. Just look that up on YouTube. Should be the first thing that pops up for you. But thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate you. Really wishing you the best of luck with your matchups today. And yeah, hope I get to see you later in the live stream later tonight, and hope that you are coming in to tell me how much you crushed.